friend of mine just sailed the Atlantic, yeah?
Yeah.
And I said, what was it like? He goes, it's just so boring.
I wonder, does Doughty know he's going to be killed
I don't know, but how
during this meal? I mean,
I bet he'd have sat there. It's like that old thing, isn't it? I suppose I like it as well as any. And tucked in, The gold and silver that he brought back, that silver, it'll still be in. It's still
around, yeah.
There might be some in the FA Cup.
Absolutely. England calls him a hero. Spain calls him a demon.
Hello there. Welcome to Bloomin' Legends. I'm Johnny Vaughan. That is Gavin Woods.
Hi, Johnny.
You right, Woodman?
Yeah, really good.
And I can call him Woodman.
He can.
We've known each other since so many of you ask this.
Yes.
We've known each other since we were teenagers.
17, 16,
17, 18,
yeah,
18,
like
40,
yeah.
40,
Yeah,
45.
40.
Well, we've known each other a long time, and we have always, whenever we've got hammered together over the years, or I suppose in our even in formative years, whenever we got high on wacky backy, we used to laugh over incredible characters from history.
Yes.
And so this is very much in a lovely tradition, isn't it, of what has been the substance of our friendship, Kevin?
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, there's not much different. The only thing missing is a couple of pints.
Certainly, yes, and a fat J in an ashtray. Anyway, this is Bloomin' Legends. Enough of that. Enough chat about our formative years. But we have always had an interest in Bloomin' Legends, and so we come to podcast 45, episode 45 of Bloomin' Legends. Gav, who'd have thought all those years ago when we were scraping round for
I know.
15 quid.
Working in shops.
Both
shops working as shop boys.
Yes, working as shop boy in a draper's. I used to work as a draper's assistant in Covent Garden. Gavin was a kitchen boy in Weybridge. It is quite Dickensian, isn't it?
Very Dickensian.
Very Dickensian. Anyway, who'd have thought, Gav, that we'd be on episode 45 with our very own YouTube channel.
Amazing.
With podcasts going through the roof, with 1 million interactions on our
numbers
on our social sites at Bloomin' Legends on Instagram and TikTok. Gav, we come to 45.
Yes. Bloomin' Legend number 45.
It's weird whenever I hear 45, and this is quite ADHD of me.
Go on.
To spark off like this.
Yes.
But I gather from some of the comments on the YouTube channel. This is what people like about this. That we spark off. Whenever I hear 45, I think of three things. Colt 45.
Yes.
Which was a beer when I was a kid.
Right.
And
as well as obviously a pistol
as
caliber.
well as a pistol, yes, it was, yes, but it was a beer, Colt 45.
Right, yeah.
Which started off the kind of mustachioed village people look.
Right.
Except they didn't. It was a big influence on them.
Was it?
Except they didn't mean it.
Right.
In Colt 45 as being like YMCA.
Yeah.
It was every Tom, Jack or Walt who
Right.
likes the taste of malt. They love the malt in a Colt 45. I don't know if do you remember the tune?
I don't remember it.
It was like men on a building site singing,
right.
every Tom,
the
Jack or
ad.
Walt
Yes, I
who
do.
likes the taste of malt, who loves the malt in a Colt 45.
Right.
But I suddenly realised a while back, imagine naming a beer
I know.
after a gun.
Well, after a bullet.
It's like being able to buy a vodka called Uzi 9.
Or double barrel.
Yes.
Or something. It's actually not a bad name.
It's not a bad name at all.
Not a bad name for a whiskey.
I think there is a Kalashnikov vodka you can get.
I'm sure there is.
I'm pretty sure there is.
Sure
Mind
there
you,
is.
I think
There must be.
The name Kalashnikov is like Jenkins in Russia, isn't it? It's like really common name. It's like Smith,
Jones,
yeah, right.
Crisps.
No, all Welsh.
Yes, yeah.
The other 45 thing is 45. Harry Enfield, Paul Whitehouse, still my favourite sketch that they do.
It's fantastic.
The two surgeons.
Yes, who are always doing everything.
Yes.
Are you still going to the badminton tournament tonight? Yes, but I have the poetry reading first.
45.
And I've got 3 operations.
If either Paul or Harry are ever watching this, it's the funniest thing you've ever done.
It's the funniest thing
It's
ever.
the funniest thing you've ever done.
Yeah.
Those two characters.
Which is brilliant.
No, but also, you've got to be so rich to make an observation like that.
Absolutely,
You've got to really gone up in the world.
Or had a relative who's like that or
but
something.
you really,
yeah.
you really, to know.
100%.
No, but the idea of
that detail,
surgeons having packed lives. What are your 45 stories? Drop them below or get on our socials or go Bloomin' Legends at global.com. Bloomin' Legends at global.com. Here's our 45 story, and it is, Gav,
Drake.
Sir Francis Drake.
No, the Canadian rapper. No,
God, man.
That'd be so weird.
They only tell me what we're going to be doing the night before.
Yes, no, it's Sir Francis Drake.
Sir Francis Drake.
It's Sir Francis Drake. Otherwise, well, he had two nicknames. He was known in England as Frankie Boy Drake.
Right, was it?
No, he wasn't. He wasn't.
I love it if he was Frankie Boy Drake. Boy Drake, yeah.
No, the Spanish called him El Drac.
Did they?
Which is basically just his name, but it was supposedly a hint at him being the dragon as well.
Right, okay.
El Dragon, but
right.
yeah. Anyway, they thought
I wonder if
he was so horrible to the Spanish ships that they thought he was practicing witchcraft.
It's funny because we did Vlad the Impaler.
Yes.
Who's Dracula.
Yes.
But I wonder, and yet there's nothing about him at all that gives us the name Dracula.
No, none at all.
Nothing.
Is there not a castle Dracul or whatever?
No, there's nothing about him. He's Vlad the Impaler. Yeah. But I wonder if actually El Drac and Drake being a brutal, murderous, if somehow that didn't enter
and if it is similar to the dragon...
Yes.
It might also be part of Dracula. Dracula could be just a mythical dragon character.
Let's put it out there now.
Yes.
Just because nothing goes corrected these days.
No, it never does.
Actually, the character Dracula was based...
on Sir Francis Drake.
Where does his story start? He's from Devonshire.
Yes, he is. So Sir Francis Drake, as he ended up, was obviously, as we know, an Elizabethan sailor. Privateer and explorer. He had a sort of double remit.
Yeah.
Nick stuff. Look for stuff.
Yes. And claim stuff.
Claim stuff, claim land, claim treasure.
Yeah.
Bring it back, you'll get a piece.
I think legally.
But disrupt the Spanish as well.
Yes.
In wherever you can.
I think legally there's a part of like Oregon or California that should technically still be British.
Yes. We'll come to that. It's San Francisco. He landed there.
Yes.
Amazing. He tried to claim it.
Yeah.
Nuevo Albion, he called it.
Yes, New Albion. That's it.
And,
sorry, I get really excited.
No, it is exciting. In the 1500s as well, you know. So, anyway, born to a poor family. His dad was a farmer, preacher, and smuggler from Devon.
Yeah. They never know when he's born because I think it was at the time of Henry VIII and there was a lot of, like, religious persecution
because of the splitting of the church.
Yes, and so what you've got is Henry VIII's 6 articles.
Right.
And the 6 articles are really how we go on not being Catholic. So it's about things like, do we still believe that there's transubstantiation during the Mass? Do we still believe that... So all these things... and so
the Roman Catholic dogma is all being challenged.
Right. And so there's loads of priests...
hiding.
Of which Drake's dad, who is a Protestant,
right,
technically, but there was people who wouldn't preach that. They weren't going to let, they didn't see they could have their own church, but they didn't see how that would affect communion. Just because Henry said so. So I think this is the reason we don't know when he was born. Because I think didn't they leave Devonshire pretty sharply?
Yes, he left. When Francis Drake was around 1548. After charges of assault and robbery. Yeah. He was also occasional smuggler, farmer and preacher.
Yeah.
He was the eldest of 12 sons.
Yeah.
My God. They moved to Kent and lived on an old ship, sparking Drake's obsession with sailing, apparently.
Yeah.
He then did an apprenticeship on a small trading vessel and inherited the ship when his master died.
His master had no issue.
He had no children,
no kids, and he liked Drake.
Well, that can happen.
This is where Drake really. It was like the ship's called. I think at the time they called things like a placer or a jobber.
Right,
but it's a boat essentially just goes across the channel, just schlepping
goods and services. Yeah. He had command of that ship at 20. She's quite young.
Quite young?
Well, mind you, no, but don't forget, people joined the Navy. This is the beginning of the Royal Navy.
People could be a Commodore at 12.
Having served for 9 years
already lost an arm. Here's the Admiral, and then a child walks in.
In fact, I would say no one got that high that didn't join at 12. They were always...
Hey, fun fact... if you notice, I just did a naval salute.
Oh, yes.
The reason the Navy salute like that... or rather than the Army who salute like that.
Yes.
Long way up, short way down. The reason the Navy salute like that is because their hands were filthy.
From the rigging.
From the rigging, from tar.
Just from dirty
so
work.
An officer would never look upon a dirty hand.
Yes.
So that's why
you can see that, can't
they salute
you?
palms down,
Makes sense. So now we enter what we're calling his dark chapter.
Okay.
This is the beginning of his early world voyages.
Okay.
And he gets involved in the slave trade.
Okay.
In 1567, he joins John Hawkins, his cousin.
Right.
On early English slave trading voyages, they transported slaves from Africa
Whoa,
across
whoa,
the
whoa,
Atlantic.
whoa,
Wait, from to Spanish and Portuguese colonies.
Whoa,
Go on.
There's a slight error there, Gav.
Yes.
Is that Drake is not involved with shuttling from Africa over there. He goes to the Caribbean, and his first dalliance with slave trade
Yes.
is because he's a privateer. A privateer is a licensed pirate. Remember, back then, after Henry VIII at this time, we have no empire. We've got nothing.
No navy
You've got
yet.
England and Scotland, not a Britain even. These are two nations that, are very...
Bickering,
real enemies.
Forever,
And the Scottish, the old alliance with France. So we're really sort of concerned with the Scots, France, Ireland. That's our little theatre of conflict. We haven't taken it far and wide. We're not Spain. We're not Portugal.
No, Spain and Portugal were going out to Africa
or Holland
much earlier. Yeah,
the Dutch again. They've got
big.
They've got big problems. Everyone in Europe. Well, not so much the Germans because Germany doesn't exist. But everyone has empire. We don't. We've got nothing. But what we have got is privateers and really good sailors.
Right.
So our whole game is getting a license from the Crown to go and raid ships as long as they're not British.
Right.
And so, and also as long as they're not...
And that included slave ships.
Yes.
So they
at this time, we are sort of semi-friendly with Spain at this time.
We've always been allies with Portugal.
Yeah, well, no, not at this time.
Really?
At this time, we've never warred with them, but we're raiding their boats.
Okay, right, yeah.
And actually, we're not getting on badly with France at this time.
Right.
Our problem is that Philip II of Spain, he was married, obviously, to Mary Tudor.
Right.
He's married to Mary. And when she dies, he's now offers Elizabeth his hand in marriage.
Right.
He wants to marry there. So that's the kind of time we're going into.
Yeah.
The Elizabethan era.
Yeah.
So we've got that. So she sort of thwarts him, but all the time back home, Spain has its eye on England. England's a small player. England is gettable.
Yes.
England, they're building empires. They're thinking, we'll add England to that.
Sure.
In this sort of
just
triangle.
another little island.
We've only just sort of lost. We still sort of got, I think, a couple of possessions in France.
Right.
Or I think maybe we've lost Calais. We've got a couple which we never should have lost. Never should have lost that.
Should have always kept Calais.
The world would be a different place if we still had Calais. Anyway, so what we're doing is, rather than getting involved with the slave trade, which of course the Portuguese are, in that way of actually going in and buying slaves and trading slaves
on the African continent.
From Africa on the African continent, where slavery is fucking rife.
Yeah, big time.
Do not forget the Ottomans. They've been active along the Barbary coast, slaving. They've slaved, and people don't believe this when you say it, they've slaved 1.5 million Europeans to man their galleys. They're not sailing. They have rowers.
They've
got rowers who are 5 to an oar, where they live, shit, eat, sleep, and die. They're just on an oar.
Just
That's
slaves.
it. And they just die. They no more care about them than they would than a fisherman particularly cares about taking an engine home. I mean, he'll look after it if it breaks down. But if you look at the state,
but it's a horse basically. Yeah.
I guess fishermen do care a bit more, but they can always just there's spare parts. They just get more slaves in. But the Ottomans, they were going or the Barbary Coast slavers, they were going as far as Iceland to go and get slaves.
Really?
Yeah. They were getting Icelandic slaves.
Wow.
They were getting Irish slaves, 1.5 million from Western Europe. They took. So I'm not saying this is some sort of apologist like the white man isn't that bad. We were absolutely fucking shocking.
Oh yeah.
But what you've got already is a massive trade. As soon as people talk about the slave trade, we always focus on the victims, particularly Africans.
Yeah.
But never on the fact that it was a trade. Who were they trading with? And the answer is a pre-existing massive structure of slavery that the Portuguese, the Spanish, the Ottomans, that everyone was already indulging in.
It went back hundreds of years.
Which goes back on, I mean, you've got the empire of, say, Mali, which is the worst slaves in history.
Right.
1 in 3 people in their country were slaves.
Yeah.
There still hasn't been a European colonial power that would enter a top 10 of worst slaving nations.
Right, yeah. So during 1568, his fleet gets ambushed by Spanish forces in San Juan de Ulloa.
Yeah.
only 2 of the 6 English ships survive, but Drake escapes by jumping overboard.
Yes.
Which is quite legendary.
Well, I tell you, he can swim is what's amazing.
This gives him a lifelong grudge against the Spanish.
Yes.
So it's personal for him
Yeah.
for the rest of his missions. And it shapes his reputation. The Spanish consider him a pirate from that moment. And
It's very fragile between us and Spain.
Right.
And so his hatred, he's dying to have a crack at them. Lots of people in Britain aren't. It's a bit like, if you look at the Spanish, you've got to see them as almost being like Russia.
Yes.
And us being potentially like Ukraine.
Yeah.
So
it can kick off.
Don't take
and
him
he's
on.
an antagonist.
Yeah. But what I mean is that's how much power Spain had compared to Britain as an underdog.
I see it. Yeah. So for between 1572 and the next year or so, he's out in Panama. So he sets out to raid Nombre de Dios in modern-day Panama, a major treasure port.
Yes.
And they set sail from Plymouth with 2 ships, the Pasha and the Swan, and 73 crewmen. The raid comes close to succeeding, but Drake is injured in the fight and he has to retreat. Then he forms an alliance with an escaped group of slaves called the Cimarrons, who help. They know the coast.
Oh, is it Cimarron? Well, as soon as you see the word Cimarron, you sort of think someone's got to use that for some sort of shit car.
Oh, they've got to. Yeah.
Is there a car called a Cimarron?
There will
I
be
just
soon.
feel like I've seen it.
It sounds like one of those non-words that
like
they
a
just
Datsun
make.
Cimarron, or like I know it doesn't exist, but a Nissan Cimarron. You know, one of those cars that cross up, and you look at a word like Cimarron, and you sort of think, "What the fuck is a Cimarron?" Well,
there's a Cadillac.
Yeah, is there a Cadillac called a Cimarron?
No,
there actually is one.
There's a Cadillac Cimarron.
Apologies to Cadillac. There we go.
Absolutely. So, but they know the coast and they've got eyes on the movements of different ships.
Is this when he follows in the footsteps of a really famous Spanish explorer and becomes the first Englishman ever to set eyes on the Pacific?
Not quite, but yes, that is a fact. He is the first.
He's
Englishman
the first ever
to
Englishman,
ever see. Well, he sails through the Magellan Straits. He sails up to what is now.
No. When he's in Panama.
Oh, I see. To see across.
Yes. He goes up. There's a tree and it's got steps cut
before
in
they
it.
had the canal there. Yeah. So his men spend the next year raiding Spanish ships with the help of the Cimarrons. In that area, and they're searching for Peruvian gold.
Yes.
That was being transported by land to the Caribbean
with donkeys. I think this is the first legendary moment coming up here.
Well, yes, we are. In 1573, he joins up with a French buccaneer, Guillaume Le Testu, in an attack on a richly laden mule train. That's exactly the one you mentioned. They make off with a huge sum, £20,000 worth of gold and silver.
£20,000.
And I think we earlier.
That's a ton.
Yeah, well, no, that's in sterling, not in weight. Later on, we'll hear about some weights.
Okay.
Because it gets ridiculous.
Well, later on, he's going to seize so much with a lucky encounter with the Spanish galleon.
That's right.
He's going to seize so much gold and silver, they strip all the lead off the boat and actually use gold in the keel.
Instead of lead.
They use silver as ballast.
John, it took them 6 days to unload the ship. That's how much silver there was on that. We'll get to that. He made more money in that than all of Britain did in a year. Insane.
Yeah.
That £20,000 in today's money is 40,000 times higher. Whatever the sign is.
Yeah.
So then he starts to spread his wings a bit, does Frankie Boy Drake. 1577, the next 3 years until 1580, he is given his big mission from Queen Elizabeth. He is given 3 tasks. Number 1, disrupt the Spanish colonies, particularly in the West Indies. 2, capture treasure. That's self-explanatory. Number 3, explore any possible routes around the world, because they still don't know them fully.
Does this become his first circumnavigation?
Yes. It is his circumnavigation of the globe.
Because what's weird is, he didn't mean to.
No, and I didn't realise this either.
No, he wasn't. He didn't set out to become the second man on Earth.
I know.
To circumnavigate. Well, that's not the intention.
And this is in 1580.
This is the
they
reason.
Didn't have navigational tools.
Nothing.
It's insane.
The reason he did this is to get away fast and not have all the gold taken by the Spanish.
And to get home without having to go back down.
Yeah, because he didn't want to run the gauntlet. Now he nicked all their stuff. Yeah.
So it was called a voyage of discovery.
Right.
And it was, in effect, an ambitious raiding voyage.
Yes.
It really was. And the start of England's challenge. This is the beginning
Yeah.
of the Royal Navy, even though it's not called that yet, particularly. Drake set sail with 5 ships, including alongside John Winter and Thomas Doughty.
Yeah.
There were
Doughty.
There were carpenters, blacksmiths, a botanist, and several musicians to amuse the crew along the way.
Got to have it, Gav.
Imagine how long it took to get over there.
Well, it's like when you see those things like The Deadliest Catch. You got these musicians. Imagine they're the equivalent of, in those old things, they're the equivalent of really bad quality VHSs.
Definitely.
You know?
Definitely.
Where they're watching in such bad quality, you can't tell if it's Stallone or Jackie Chan. You know?
That's so
They've got
funny.
the same hair. Is that Jackie Chan? I think it's Stallone. They don't know.
Because it also makes me think of modern holiday cruise ships. The captain, I'm sure he is the captain.
Yeah.
But he seems to do a lot of entertaining.
He does a lot of
He does a lot of dinner.
No, I think
a
Drake,
lot of having
Drake
dinner
could be
and all
pretty
that.
hands-on. Go on, what's next?
Absolutely. So they sail from England. They pass down the coast of Spain and Portugal, raiding ships along the way. So they're only on their way out still.
Yeah, yeah.
But they'll take a few of whatever they can.
Yeah.
They stop in Morocco and then the Canaries before taking the trip across to South America.
Yeah.
By the Canary Islands, Drake's men capture 3 Spanish ships. They've already captured 3.
Yeah.
The largest was used to replace their smallest, which is very clever. And then they put the survivors and prisoners on the small one and told them, you have that one. And
You have that one. Yeah.
sail off.
Well, the thing is, they need cargo holds.
They need empty
they need
cargo
empty
holds
ships.
because
That's what
they're looking for some treasure.
One of the ships that Drake is in is renamed the famous Golden Hind.
Right, yes. It's renamed.
It's renamed that during this mission.
Right.
During this voyage. I don't think it starts off as
Okay,
that.
right,
But
yeah.
If you ever see a replica of the Golden Hind, it's tiny.
Yes, they're not big.
You know, the thought of that taking on those waves you get in the Atlantic, those big rollers, you think, Jesus.
No, but also the same faces every day.
Yeah.
What now, Watkins?
No, but a friend of mine just sailed the Atlantic,
Yeah.
with one of my dad's neighbours.
Yeah.
And because they're all sailors.
Yeah.
And I said, what was it like? He goes, it's just so boring. I go, what do you mean? He goes, well, you go in November, which is, I presume, when he set off.
Right.
Everyone going across, you go in November.
If that's the tidal season.
No, because that's when you get these winds that kick up.
Right.
And so there's an annual sail that meets, I think, in the Canaries or the Azores, and you meet there, and everyone goes.
You all
across
hitch a ride on the
and,
winds
everyone
across
goes
to the
and it's really
Caribbean.
easy, but there's just these. He says they're just like really boring hills. You're on one tack the whole way. There's not even.
You're joking.
No.
You just stay the course the whole way.
He said they spent most of the time with one guy up there and just downstairs feeling slightly sick playing Scrabble. I said I did that in jail. He goes, God, John, it's
like it's like a gently undulating prison.
But it's like all these twats all these really bright, exceptional individuals who do that rowing across the Atlantic.
Yeah.
You haven't got to really they're just steering the fucking thing. It'll go on its own.
Oh, this because the current will take you. It's not just the wind.
You can do it in a bathtub as long as you've got a support team. Honestly, it's nothing. Basically, you could do it on a lilo. Stick anything in the sea in November, it'll end up in the Bahamas, all right? It just will. There's nothing you can do about it. So that's what these lads are doing. But they must have been so bored.
Oh, they must have been. I mean, they set off, it doesn't say exactly when, in 1577. It takes them till May 1578 to get to South America.
No, they were set up in November.
You're absolutely right, I'm sure.
They're bound to have done.
They were constantly struck by storms. I guess with prevailing high winds, you get storms.
Yeah.
Forcing them to leave every port they tried to dock at. Doughty was leading the smaller ship called Swan. He had regularly been challenging Drake's guidance. He was bucking for promotion, no doubt.
Of course he was,
since they left Plymouth. When Swan was separated from the fleet in a huge storm, Drake doubled down on his hating for Doughty and accused him of witchcraft. That seems to be the go-to in the 1500s. Witch!
Did he kill him?
If you really want to denounce someone, talk about anything that's against God.
Okay. Yeah.
And
did he behead him?
He thinks the witchcraft caused the storms.
Right.
Yes, Doughty is tried and executed, reportedly after sharing a meal with Drake, which reminded me of Dennis Farina in Midnight Run, the head gangster who says he's going to kill the guy's wife, but he says he's going to have a nice hot meal.
No, he says, tonight I'm going to kill you. Then I'm going to go home, have a nice hot meal.
A nice, not a meal, a hot meal.
He gets a nice hot meal. And then I'm going to go out, I'm going to kill your wife.
Number one is that you're going to die tonight. Number two, I'm going to go home, have a nice hot meal. I'm going to find your wife. And I'm going to kill her too.
I wonder, does Doughty know he's going to be killed
I don't know, but how
during this meal? I mean,
I bet he'd have sat there. It's like that old thing, isn't it? I suppose I like it as well as any. And tucked in,
It's lovely cheese.
But there's always hope, isn't there? And also remember another thing, Gav. Remember another thing. They really believed in God. When anyone's looking back.
Yes. I know, they properly believed it. Divine right
also,
of kings.
No, but in a really evil Christianity.
Oh, yeah.
Where whatever you were doing, so this is cardinals, kings, it doesn't matter. Because God is all powerful.
Yeah.
And we haven't really got Satan yet.
No.
Satan's much more in the industrial age.
Yeah, they bring him out much later.
When you start having furnaces. They haven't
Absolutely.
got furnaces particularly. You need furnaces for that. You'll go to hell! So remember, back then, whatever you're doing, whatever success you have, everything you have is because it's divine right.
So it's God's will. Yeah.
So you can't do anything wrong.
It's not up to me.
It's because God's put you in that position.
Nothing to do with me, Doughty.
No, but Doughty is doubting him.
Yes.
Which is great for the narrative, isn't it? The Doughty. And he must lose his head. Why? Because Drake has been
given a mission by God.
Licensed.
Because the Queen, who's been ordained by God, has given him this mission.
FD. Yeah. Defender of the faith.
Yeah.
A title given by her father, Henry VIII. Bestowed on him, ironically, by the Pope.
Right. The irony bounces back and forth.
And you can still see it on every British coin that all those coins used there. It still says FD as one of. I always think, isn't that brilliant? That the British monarch, the first people to really go to the power of Rome.
Yes. Are still saying that.
Are still using something given to them by the Pope.
It's amazing.
Unbelievable, isn't it?
But it does kind of begin Drake as he's quite a pirate. If he's willing to do that, that's quite serious, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so he now goes through the Straits of Magellan, which is that horrible bit round the bottom of South America, heading up the west coast of South America.
So he's the first ever Englishman to go into the Pacific.
That's right.
And the important thing about this, Gav, is that no one's expecting him there. No one would ever expect an English boat in there. An English sea captain, English privateers
Not
to go
in
in
1578.
No way.
Not a chance. He goes through the Straits. He starts with 5 ships. He ends up coming out with 1.
Yeah.
That's how dangerous the Straits are. And it is the Golden Hind.
Yeah.
He becomes the first Englishman to do that.
He renames it. I think, doesn't he? He renamed it just before that, or
I'm not sure. So then he starts raiding the.
He's already laden with treasure, incidentally.
No, he is. Yes, he's been messing around in the Caribbean.
Yeah.
So then he attacks Spanish ports along the west coast of South America and continues to sail further north than any European before him, searching for a passage. He's trying to find a way back to the Atlantic. He's not trying to sail west into the Pacific.
And this is when he gets the mother lode.
Well, he stops near present-day San Francisco, repairs his ship, and claims the region as Nova Albion.
Yeah.
New England.
Can I just say, for claiming San Francisco for the Bloomin' legend.
Oh, definitely. And why isn't it still New England?
Yeah.
They stuck it all on the other side
Also,
in the end.
when did that age stop where you could just roll up somewhere and claim it?
When did they go across on the land rush to the west? When did they get to San Francisco? It was like 18-something, wasn't it?
Well, they're already going up there around the coast, but if you're talking about east to west, it's
I'm talking about the American settlers.
Yeah, that's throughout the 19th century.
It's 1800s,
That's when the
isn't it? So
settlers.
it's not for another couple hundred years.
No,
that's
it's not, you're
amazing.
absolutely right, yeah.
So eventually they turn west after claiming San Francisco as New Albion, and they cross the Pacific.
Yeah.
An ocean that he's the first person to see, let alone sail on.
Yeah.
Heading towards, I guess, Australia.
Yeah.
And he returns to England. He makes it all the way back round the Cape of Good Hope, the bottom of Africa, and back up to England. But the loot along this route on his return journey is ridiculous. He captures the treasure ship.
This is it.
Nuestra Señora de la Concepción.
Yes.
Our Lady of the Conception.
Yes.
The hoard on the ship was so large,
Yeah.
it takes his crew 6 days to unload it.
Okay. The seizure of that's why he then goes that rather than going back round through the Cape of through Cape Horn, the Magellan Straits, and back over the Atlantic.
Right.
So it's because he has that.
He doesn't want to go retrace his steps. He's going to get taken by another Spanish ship.
He's just roving around looking for ports and treasure and taking advantage of the fact that the reason he can take this huge Our Lady of the Conception, the reason he can take that is because they don't think it could possibly be British.
No,
they just say
because there's
it's
no
a
British
sail
boats there.
No, they don't think. They're not even armed, really.
No, they don't worry about it.
They just don't think there's going to be anyone.
It's just
like
being there, let
just
alone
imagine, hello, we're a ship full of treasure.
Yeah.
No one's bothering us because it's the Pacific.
Yeah, right. Amazing.
So suddenly there is, Drake, this notorious privateer who they just see as a pirate.
Well, it's amazing. The hoard.
Yeah.
36 kilograms or 13 chests full of coins and stuff.
Yeah.
26 tons of silver.
Yeah.
That's 1,000 kilograms, full metric tons.
26
tons.
What I find fascinating about it is because obviously elements can't be destroyed. An element, well, it can, they can be melted down and alloyed and whatever.
Yeah.
But essentially, the gold and silver that he brought back, that silver, it'll still be it's still
around. Yeah.
There might be some in the FA Cup.
Absolutely. There's some
you just
Drakean silver, but there's 26 tons of it. There's definitely some of it knocking about.
Right.
Yeah, it's in like a local market town jewellery shop with a picture frame.
Or
some of that is Drake silver.
Like a sort of set of cutlery you're looking at and thinking, but do you want to eat off other people's? And you go, well, you do in restaurants. I go,
that was taken off the coast of Peru in 1578 or whatever. Anyway, it was also a golden crucifix and jewels, completing the total worth around 360,000 pesos.
Unbelievable.
During the day. It was the equivalent of £480 million worth of stuff. He returns home in 1580. I imagine the Queen is very delighted because she gives him £10,000, which is about 4 million or 10%, let's call it.
But he arrives in Deptford.
He completes the circumnavigation. The Queen knights him and awards him all that money. And he's made the mayor of Plymouth as well.
Wait, the Queen doesn't knight him.
Oh, doesn't she?
The Queen doesn't knight him.
Aboard the Golden Hind?
No.
Right.
The Golden Hind pulls into Deptford.
Yes, go on.
I love it. So he arrives back in.
This is Millwall territory.
No, but plus ça change.
Yeah, go on, yeah.
He arrives in Deptford.
Yeah, he's up the Thames.
In the Royal Docks.
Yeah.
But the Queen cannot knight him.
Why?
Because that would make us an enemy of Spain and give her blessing on him raiding Spain.
I see. So she's had to leave him as a privateer.
No. She gets the French ambassador to knight him.
With a French knighthood?
Yes, with the blessing of the French. No, it's still a knighthood. It's still because it's a knight's a night.
A knight's a night. Right. Across all of Europe.
Once a night's enough.
Yeah.
But
Okay, I get it. Yeah. So you're the Order of the Garter.
So she's standing there on the deck, but it is the French ambassador.
So it's literally a piece of. It's a piece of diplomatic paperwork.
Yeah, for her to
changes it.
For her to knight him is to say, fuck you, Philip.
Wow.
Yeah.
But that is another blooming legendary moment. He's a national hero. For basically 3 years of state-sponsored piracy.
Yeah.
And boy, was it lucrative.
Yeah. Sir Francis Drake's hoard.
From that big raid.
From the whole 3 years.
Journey,
that ended in the second person ever to circumnavigate and what have you.
Yeah.
In the Golden Hind. The Queen's share, which was half, because she'd invested half and given him a licence, the Queen's half share was more than the Crown earned, otherwise in a whole year.
That's insane.
Yes. When you consider the lands the Crown had.
That's insane.
It's insane, yeah.
That is insane.
It's a lot of wool.
That's a lot of wool.
You can see why we switched from wool
to ships.
Just to armed robbery.
To ships.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Definitely. Those wooden ships were very valuable. Wow.
So, Gav, on with the show.
Yes, so now we get to 1585. He's already earned great favour with that first raid. 1585 to 1586, he goes back to the West Indies to do some more raids. He leads a major expedition. I would imagine every time they give him a few more boats.
Of course they do.
Because he's a great earner.
No, investors.
He's a great earner.
No, he's a made guy now.
He really is.
That's what, honestly.
Yes.
Being made a sir.
Oh, yeah.
That's like...
You're a made guy.
You're a made guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know people would say, hey, you bought your button, you fake fucking tough guy.
Yeah.
I know people will say, hey, Sir Francis, you bought your button, you fake tough guy.
Sure.
As indeed Tommy D does to Billy Batts.
He does.
Famously in Goodfellas.
He does.
But
But you know, the head of the family loves a good earner.
No, but he's doing stuff, you know.
Yeah, I know he's earning.
He's doing stuff.
He's really earning.
Yeah, and honestly, if we keep it on those terms of villainy, you're exactly right.
No, it's the same
Exactly
structure.
right.
Absolutely. So he leads a huge expedition to the Spanish territories in the Caribbean. He keeps striking very quickly at multiple ports.
And remember, all this time, we have no empire. So when we're out there...
We're not controlling lands or anything.
nothing. Nothing. There is nothing at all that makes Britain...
It's just the ships.
We've got no weak
and
points.
the little island.
Yeah.
That's it.
We've got no weak points at all.
No. And we haven't formed military ports.
Literally.
Or anything like that.
We are just blaggers.
Just blaggers.
Just black. That's
it's
it.
like a biker gang.
No, traders
on the seas.
Traders and black that aren't tied to anywhere apart from England and with a Europe that is bristling round us.
Right.
Especially in 1585. Remember, we start the countdown now to the Armada.
Yeah. Well, that's right. So those 2 years, 85 and 86, he attacks Santiago, Cartagena, Santo Domingo, the Florida coast.
Yeah.
He seizes supplies. He seizes ransoms. He disrupts Spanish control of the region.
He goes to Florida. Just like Goodfellas.
Yeah.
When they go for a break.
They always end up in Florida. He gets the nickname El Drac from the Spanish during that time.
From which we get Dracula.
Yeah.
Do we?
And it's a sign of how feared he was, because it sounds a bit like El Dragón, which was their idea of the word. Their word for the dragon. Some Spanish mariners genuinely believed he practiced witchcraft.
Yeah.
Stories circulate that he owned a magic mirror that allowed him to see the location of all ships.
I think they just had great informers, didn't
Yeah,
they?
spies.
Yeah.
They've got people on mountains.
If you think of the edge he's got, is that nowhere there's any comeback. Like I said, there is no empire. There's nothing.
There's no satellites watching everyone.
We haven't even got a port.
No. Now, how do you report? Who are you reporting him to?
Yeah, right.
You know, there's no
Imagine
one.
every port you go into, they're going, who's that English guy?
Yeah, exactly.
No one?
Oh, no, there's no one. Don't worry. Don't worry.
Are you Sir Francis Drake? I might be.
Also, I love the idea because these ships were so slow. Like when they've got away with the raid and then they slowly sail away.
Oh, 6 knots.
And there's nothing you can do.
Yeah,
It's like, there she goes. Yep, she's still there. And half an hour later,
any decent tide, they're going
still
backwards.
sailing away.
Any decent tide, they're going backwards. Tides were key. Luckily, they're utterly predictable. They only shift.
Yeah, they are. That's
they
right.
shift
Yeah.
5 minutes a day, don't they?
And they knew about them.
Yeah.
They do. You know, they might not have had really clever
2 a day
clocks and sextants.
Two a
and
day
whatever
shifting by 5 minutes. No, because they know at that time the sun's doing that. And
That's
they're
right.
pretty,
Yeah. The stories circulate. He's got magic mirrors, but as you say, it's people signalling with fire on mountaintops to send word ahead.
Yeah.
His success prompts Spain to stick a bounty on his head. Interestingly, his cut of that huge treasure was about 4 million today.
Yeah.
They stick a bounty worth exactly that. The Spanish stick a bounty of 20,000 ducats, or 4 million today. On his return to England, he rescues the stranded colonists of Roanoke Island.
Yeah.
That was England's first ever attempt at a permanent settlement in the New World.
Right.
It obviously hadn't gone well.
No.
Because they just wanted to get the hell home. But that was another Bloomin' legendary moment. He was such a successful pirate, his enemy thought he was magic.
Yeah.
So that's pretty good. In 1587, he does the famous singeing of the Spanish king's beard.
Okay, this is in Cadiz.
Yes.
So this is where he singed Philip's beard because they were starting to prepare for the Armada.
And it genuinely delayed it. It delayed it for up to a year.
Yeah.
Which, in terms of
No,
military
this is
strategy...
1587?
Yeah, that's right. So Drake sails into Cadiz harbour, destroys and disrupts about 30 Spanish ships.
No, they tow fire ships in.
Burning, sinking, looting, setting fire, as you said.
No, that's the strategy.
You tow a ship that's on fire.
We do it again in 1588 to bust up all the Spanish allies who were waiting to join the Spanish.
to help out the Armada.
The Armada, they've got Irish, Scots, Germans,
all of England's
Portuguese.
enemies.
The whole of Europe is
All
ready
ganging up.
to take a slice of this. So all their sailors,
Because they're sick of Drake other raiders.
They're standing on the coast by Belgium, waiting for the Armada to come round after it's destroyed the ship in Plymouth. But that's a year down the line.
It is. So yes, he helps burn up a chunk of the Spanish.
They just push fire
Cadiz.
ships in because they're all moored up. They push fire ships, they burn the lot.
Wow. This delays the launch by a year and humiliates Philip. Hated
but it also gives Britain time to know this is really
it's
serious.
It's coming. It gives them time to build more ships, I guess. England calls him a hero. Spain calls him a demon. But it's another blooming legendary moment. It's probably the greatest, been described as the greatest drive-by in naval history.
It's fantastic.
It's a pretty opportunistic thing. It's the kind of thing Nelson would have ended up doing as well.
Yeah.
1588, yes, the Armada is now happening. He serves as Vice Admiral, does Drake.
What's interesting about it is this happens in Cadiz.
Yes.
You mentioned Nelson.
Yes.
So Cadiz, we're only 30 miles from Trafalgar.
Is that where it is?
Yeah, Trafalgar's just off.
So
I
the
went there
port
last
of
summer.
Cadiz is quite near where Trafalgar, the battle happens.
Cape Trafalgar.
Right.
So that's just up from or down from Cadiz. It's just down from Cadiz.
Wow.
It's between Cadiz and Tarifa on the Atlantic Spanish coast
right.
before you get to Portugal. So
Okay.
that's how long
That's amazing.
this war really is sort of.
Yeah.
Everyone forgets that at the Battle of Trafalgar itself,
What year was Trafalgar, right?
1805.
Right.
At Trafalgar,
So it's
they've got 33
200 years.
Yeah,
later,
33 ships, and they're made up of French and Spanish.
Yes.
Everyone thinks it's just against Napoleon.
No,
It's
the
not.
French were there as
it's
well.
not. Again, they form this big fleet. That's,
Yeah. So anyway, in 1588, he is now Vice Admiral under Lord Howard, and he helps harass and chase the Armada up the Channel.
Yeah.
As you say, the Spanish were trying to join up with the other forces.
The Spanish are coming up to Plymouth
through the
first.
Channel.
Yeah, they're spotted off the Lizard.
Are they?
Off the Lizard,
Right,
yes.
right,
yeah,
right,
in
right,
1588, they're spotted there, and obviously they move so slowly. This is the thing about Drake finishing his game of bowls.
Well,
When they're
that's the legend, possibly exaggerated. That
No,
he
but-
said there's time to. The post supposedly said there is time to play the game and still time to beat the Spaniards.
Well, I've been to the bowling lawn.
Right.
there. It's still there on Plymouth Hoe.
Yeah.
And it's really raised.
Yes.
And you can see miles out.
see far
and
out,
if there's
yeah.
a tide, these things move. The tide is moving faster than them. They're going backwards.
Right.
So you.
Oh, I see.
There's no.
yeah.
There's
you
no
don't- you-
surprise.
You know, there's days yet.
I would run you through the scale of the Armada, but do you know what, Gav?
Let me just quickly find out how many
It's an
ships.
Armada.
Okay, the Armada had 24 warships, 44 armed merchantmen.
Yeah.
So that's merchant ships with guns.
Yeah. They're going to be used as troop carriers as well.
Right, yeah. 38 auxiliary vessels.
Yes.
31 supply vessels.
Yes.
2,431 artillery pieces.
Yeah.
10,000 sailors, 20,000 soldiers. 90% were Spaniards, 10% were Portuguese of the soldiers. The Spanish and the Netherlands, 31,800 soldiers, 170 barges, the Netherlands.
Yeah.
Total 55,000 men and 137 ships. That's huge.
It's an Armada, Gav.
That's huge.
From where the same word as army.
Yeah, right. Armada.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
It's a seaborne army. So they're properly.
This is a knockout blow they're hoping for. Yeah.
They're going to properly invade Britain
And take
well,
it.
England.
Yes.
Remember, the Scots are right with them. So
Right, yeah,
they've got a lot of the army still positioned.
They
That's
just want England.
That's the Irish,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Scots,
yeah.
and the Germans
Wow.
who also want to know.
Yeah, they do.
So everyone's in on this. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So 1595, he goes back to the West Indies with John Hawkins. He attempts to raid Spanish vessels in Puerto Rico, but they were ready for him this time.
Yeah.
The mission goes badly. His crew gets ravaged with disease.
Yeah, scurvy.
Drake himself gets dysentery and he dies near Panama. He gets buried at sea in a lead-lined coffin with his armour on off the coast of Portobello. And folklore claims divers have heard him knocking from below the waves.
Man.
This is another little selection of folklore about Drake. A cannonball at Sydenham Hall is said to have been fired by Drake from hundreds of miles away to signal his affection for a future bride, and it apparently always rolls to where it was if you try to move it.
Nice.
Multiple UK locations claim to have Drake-related ghost sightings.
Yeah.
And legend says beating his personal drum will summon his spirit to defend England. But I was thinking, imagine if there was a modern maritime battle and someone beat the drum and this wooden ship
How do you know they're not doing that?
emerged out of the
How do you know they
mist.
didn't do that before D-Day, before Trafalgar? They haven't been doing that all this time. And how do you know it's not true?
It probably is a
It's
Navy
not true,
tradition, yeah.
and that Drake was a witch, and that
Yes.
he had done a deal with the
And
devil.
he's still there.
Yeah, and our country is evil.
That's right.
I've gone too far.
Are we the bad guys?
We just don't know.
No, we don't.
What we do know, Sir Francis Drake.
Bloomin'
Bloomin' legend.
legend.
Right. And what a legend he is.
What a
but
legend.
Is he legendary enough for the Bloomin' Legendary leaderboard? I think absolutely yes.
I think it's got to be, really, hasn't he?
Yes.
He's got to be.
Yeah.
He's got to be.
Right, there's Sir Francis Drake. I'm going to do this very simply, Gav.
Go on.
But for me, I mean, Charles Upham, he's number one,
Yes.
but I'm going to put Drake up there.
Are
no,
you?
No, I could do.
Okay, so as an individual...
No, only because I realise that Charles Upham has one flaw.
What?
No one's heard of him. And to be... No.
Well, in terms of historical impact...
Yes.
Yes, absolutely, Charles Upham had his own... his immediate surroundings were
Yes.
very impacted.
He won 2 VCs.
It's ridiculous. And his men around him, obviously, a saviour to them.
Yes.
But in terms of world geopolitics...
Yes.
Sir Francis Drake, well, he's a big operator,
So
isn't
what
he?
do we do? I'm going to just take him out.
No, we can't lose
Yes,
Charles
yes,
Upham.
yes.
What, have you gone crazy?
Because we've got a new number one. Gav, it is... Can I just say, Gav, it's tough at the top. And Charles Upham, yes, he won 2 Victoria Crosses, right? But, is that more legend? What would you rather? 2 Victoria Crosses or
The bow and arrow.
or a bow and arrow
I mean-
and a bag? He's got bow and arrows and a bagpipe.
I mean, I'd be proud for either, but
yes.
I'm going with the bow and arrow. I've got to. It's a Bloomin' Legends type thing.
Look,
but
it's gonna,
do we lose him
it's,
entirely?
yes, we have. Boom. Boom.
Wow.
Yeah?
Wow.
Yeah? Yeah?
We haven't even done Nelson yet, have we?
No, but I can tell you now that Julius Caesar should be fucking nervous. Right, and so
If I was Julius Caesar,
Yeah,
I'd
that's what-
have my eye on the horizon.
Sir Francis Drake.
No, I get it.
But remember, I was in Drake House at school, so
Yeah, no, I
because Sir
get it.
Charles Upham. The point is, yes, he is there, but as someone pointed out to me in the comments, no one's heard of him. Yeah, he did that. He won a couple of VCs. He was really brave, but what? He retires and becomes a sheep farmer.
He
in New
turns
Zealand.
down a free farm from the government.
Yeah, I know.
It's legendary.
What a knob.
No.
No, he's not.
He's definitely not a knob.
Gav, I've just shaken it up. Please, comments below. Also, if the Bloomin' Legendary leaderboard suddenly appeared out of nowhere, I'll tell you what else has, Gav.
Oh my God, the missing Clibbard.
The missing Clibbard.
So
Return to producer Ben's desk.
Yes, what, anonymously, Ben?
Yes.
It was, yes. So someone quietly put it back on Ben's desk. I think he put out a warning on the tannoy
Yes.
through the building.
Sorry, this was stolen. If you didn't see,
It went
episode
missing.
Episode 44.
Yeah.
This went missing. Well, between 43 and 44.
Yeah, we became a one-Clibbard show
It was
for a little while.
suddenly
yeah.
it was a one Clibbard show. Exactly right. But now we're back. We're firing on 2 Clibbards.
We are.
Gav, you've got the main Clibbard.
I do.
Hoist it, please. To get in touch, email bloominlegends@global.com. bloominlegends@global.com. That's where you can tell your story. Remember, we want tales of daring do, of stag do, of hen do.
Yes.
Of do
herring
right,
do.
do bad, yeah, of herring do. We want tales of do. That's what we want
Yes.
from your own Bloomin' Legends. Could be a great friend, could be your father, could be a granddad who fought in the war, could be your old man fought in the war.
Maybe your
could be an
gran,
uncle.
maybe your gran ran a pub and,
Yeah.
and physically was able to throw fighting men out of
Yes.
the place. That kind of thing.
It could be your grand manned anti-aircraft guns.
There you
and
go.
then cycled into Kent the next day because she knew where the planes had got down and she robbed the dead.
Absolutely.
God, that'd be the jackpot, wouldn't it?
Oh,
anyway,
man.
Gav, what have you got?
Jason from Ipswich says, I'd like to nominate my mate's dad as an absolute blooming legend because his antics never failed to amaze or entertain in no particular order. As a tradesman, he'd often end up smacking his thumb with a hammer. Normally, he'd pierce the nail with a hot pin to release the pressure.
Fantastic.
But on this occasion, he didn't have one handy, so he opted for the next best thing, a pillar drill.
That's amazing.
Aye.
My dad took a verruca out with a 6-inch nail.
Oy, that's so dad.
Yeah.
That's so
He also
dad.
removed a tooth by tying cotton round it and putting it to a door.
What, that like in a boy's
Yes.
comic?
Yes.
He actually
Yeah,
did
he
that.
actually did that.
Wow.
Boom. Yeah.
My father-in-law...
When he was a kid, it was a wobbly tooth.
My father-in-law is a retired GP.
Yeah.
And if anyone ever says anything about, what's this thing I've got on me, he just gets his penknife out. Let's just have that off. It's
Oh,
fantastic.
that's fantastic.
This
isn't it?
is fantastic.
Go on.
So with the pillar drill, he
Yeah.
puts a very small bit, lowers it onto his throbbing thumb. God,
Yeah.
this sounds painful.
Awful.
Exactly as you're imagining. And the bit caught and went straight through, pulling his thumb up the chuck.
Christ alive.
Oh, Christ.
God.
Yeah, because it's got the spiral on it,
Yeah.
hasn't it? Oh, God. Pulled his thumb up the chuck where he let out a string of choice expletives.
Yeah, I bet he did.
Another time, my mate came home from work to find his dad standing over the kitchen sink. He thought he was doing the washing up. Noticing he looked a bit pale, he asked him what he was doing. He said his name was Roland. Roland said he'd cut himself and he was washing the wound. On closer inspection, my mate saw that the sink was half full of blood and the cut was actually a circular saw injury that had gone halfway through the middle of his hand.
Wow.
It's only a flesh wound, he said.
Yeah.
Another time, him and his mate were working as security guards and thought it would be funny to shine their torches around the building suspiciously to make it look like there were thieves.
Yeah, I bet.
Inside. It was all fun and games till the police turned up and they had to invent a story about the criminals running off. Finally, after finishing radiotherapy for cancer, he was told the treatment might have affected his heart.
Oh, dear.
So when he got home, he decided to test it by sprinting round the garden until he collapsed from exhaustion, proudly announcing, "I told him it was okay."
Yeah. What a man!
There are loads more stories, but these are just a few. I hope Roland makes it into the legendary slot. All the best, Jason. That's a fantastic
That's absolutely
selection.
fantastic. Jason, we salute him.
Absolutely.
Do you know what? Today's episode a bit long. I'm going to save... Yes, I've got a clibbard.
Yeah.
I'll be celebrating this clibbard with one of your Bloomin' Legends in episode 46, podcast 46. Meantime, just to remind you, email us, bloominlegends@global.com. That was episode 45.